We're going to start with the nation. Lalong resigns from FEC. Rivers Assembly 27, our defection constitutional. Lagos inaugurates agro-produce hub. SON set to standardize CNG buses. The nation wins highest honors at NMMA. NAFDAC moves against sales of measured milk cereals in open markets. Why I didn't stop Shaun of Ogbomoso by Adeboye. Nigerian is present Cambridge Varsity College. And death in water fears anguish over boreholes. Which story are you starting with?
I can start with the Lagos State Governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, yesterday inaugurated a newly constructed middle-level fresh food agro hub at Idioro in Mushi area of the state. And he said the facility would help to mitigate the 50% post-harvest losses and reduce carbon emissions. He also launched 750 million market trader money initiative. And from the amounts, they said 50,000 will be given to 15,000 traders across the local government and LCDs. And 250 beneficiaries will be selected in each of the local governments and LCDA. So the mid-level agro-produce hub at Idioro Mushi was going to be the first in the state, and it will be a turning point in the food distribution. You know, we've always complained how we make a lot of losses because we are not able to preserve, especially our perishable food. So from the markets, before it gets to the end users, we lose, according to data, over 50% of the produce. And that's a lot. Yeah, that's a lot. So they said the facility is seated on a 6,400 square meter of land. There's adequate car and truck parking in the area. There's centralized dry and cold storage systems, you know, which will give the markets a place for us to be able to scale our economy. Very interesting to have that. It's like a state-of-the-art food place for Nigerians, and it's situated in Lagos State.
Fantastic.
Well done.
I thought they didn't have land. Well, congratulations to them.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So I have the major headlines. So the Minister of Labour and Employment, Simon Lalong, has resigned. And the reason why he's done so is because he has opted to take the Plateau South Senatorial seat, which he won. So during the elections, he was declared the loser of the election.
Right.
But then he contested it, took it to court, and after deliberations, he's been declared the winner.
Wow.
So he put in his resignation, and he's going to take the senatorial
Honestly, I
seat
wish the president can appoint a woman
for
this job,
labor and employment.
But I'm
Why a
telling
woman
you,
specifically?
because I really believe they have more relatable. They're able to negotiate better with labor. All this back and forth is ego tripping. A lot of things we see. If we can get a woman who is able, that's my own personal view. I feel a woman being...
So there's a Minister of State. Wouldn't that just be like an automatic...
Oh, it's Minister of State, Abi?
Yes. No, I mean, there is one.
A woman.
Shouldn't there... No, I'm saying that he has a deputy. Yeah. Shouldn't that person just automatically,
take over?
Just
no,
take
I don't
over
think
the
so.
office.
It's not done that way.
I don't think it works that way. Because they've not really told us he's deputizing. For that when Minister of State is deputized, I'm not sure if that's really... We always think that, but I'm not sure if that's accurate. Let me take this story. Very interesting. Professor of Pharmaceutical Nanoscience at University of Cambridge, Ijoma Uchegbu, has been named the 7th president of Wolfson College, one of Varsity's 31 colleges. Uchegbu, who is renowned for her groundbreaking work in nanoparticle medication delivery, will take over as president on October 1st, 2024, replacing the outgoing president, Professor Jane Clark. The university lectures, she currently lectures at the University College London. Her pioneering work on the mechanism of drug transport have led to development of new treatments which promises to transform pain relief, including the pain medicine candidate designed to address the opioid crisis. So this is a woman that we're so proud of. She's Nigerian, and she has groundbreaking work that has qualified her for this this position, and we're so proud. And congratulations to Professor Uchegbu.
So I'm taking a special report from The Nation. It's a special report done by Chinyere Okarafo and Precious Igbo. I'm sorry, Precious, but you did a very an amazing job. Over 6 weeks across Lekki, Ejigbo, Ago Palace Way, and Isolo areas of Lagos State, investigating down to doing what test on the water that people were consuming and using to take their bath. So the story is about the fact that there is death in our waters, fear and anguish over contaminated boreholes within Lagos community, people living in very expensive estates but are forced to buy water. And
Call
they
it
said,
what it is, lucky there's no good water there.
They said even those that seemingly had water, the chemicals used to purify the water that you will see,
Bam.
when they test it, heavy metals within those chemicals. So what dangerous. You think is looking clean is actually contaminated
Poisonous.
as well.
Wow.
Then those that are buying water, they are buying from the trucks. They said they tested the water from the trucks too. Those truck delivering water don't wash their trucks. They do 4 trips in a day. It was an expose, and all of this is based on the fact that Lagos has a perennial lack of public water system, and everybody's having to resort to solving their problems by themselves, which also has a long-term environmental effect where you have too many boreholes around. We need to solve our public water system in Lagos.
Where do we start from?
Multifaceted issues affecting the country. Moving on quickly now to the Punch. Christmas shoppers condemn Naira scarcity as ATMs dry up. NDLA seizes convicted Lagos Baron's mansion and nabs grandma. I knew long ago that Gandhi would become Seun, says Pastor Deboye. 3 died, 7 injured in Lagos-Ibadan expressway crash. U.S. lawmaker wants Nigerian on concern list over blasphemy killings. Man Airlines, Dangote in talks over diesel and jet A1. Afenifere worries over rising armed robberies in Southwest. Electricity subsidy gobs 376 billion naira. Consumers pay 783 billion. And Punch wins NME Newspaper Editor of the Year, clinches 9 others. Congratulations to all.
Yeah.
We also won. Look, Veronica Onochi. Okoye won best, I think Danny Boy. She won, I think it's the best anchor of the year.
Wow.
Best newscaster of the year. Congratulations.
Wow.
To her.
Congratulations.
And there was one more person that won best report. I have to get the names, but congratulations to 2 ladies from TVC.
Amazing work. Amazing work.
Abimbola Agbebi, yes, she also won.
Oh, amazing.
Congratulations to both ladies. We're so proud of them.
Veronica.
Okay,
Do we take
Punch.
a story?
Go ahead.
Yes, I have the major headline. People are complaining seriously about the Naira scarcity. And a lot of them are expressing their frustration over their inability to make purchases, especially this period that people are trying to shop and get things ready for the Christmas. So there were findings by the Punch, and they said that banks were still rationing cash over the counter, and most of the ATMs across several banks are not operational. They are not working because there's no cash. So there's usually queue there. Sometimes they'll say that the cash is finished. They're not able to withdraw cash. So they went around to ATM galleries in Lagos, Abuja, Osogbo, Makurdi, Sokoto, Edo, Gosa, many others. The ATMs had run out of cash. There was no money. And, you know, roadside sellers, people in the market are insisting on collecting cash for their produce. They interviewed some of the marketers and some of the sellers on the road saying they said that they didn't have the bank app. And sometimes the bank apps fail them. They are not able to get their money. I even made sales on Friday, and one of the customers still today, we don't know where the money has hung. So maybe after work, I'll either go to one of the banks to trace where the money has gone. So I understand why people are requesting for cash, but we are calling out the CBN to say, you say we have over 3-point-something trillion in circulation. So where is the money? Where has it gone to?
So even if
people are hoarding, are they hoarding billions in their houses? They can't be hoarding billions in their houses. Who are these people that are hoarding? You know, when you can tell people that are withdrawing the money, you can trace them, you can find out what exactly is happening. Our God, the million that you withdraw, that is your own money, where did you keep it? If that's the question we need to start asking.
Let's go on a quick break. When we come back, we continue with our review. Stay with us, we'll be right back. Thanks for staying with us. We're still reviewing Punch. I have the Pastor Adeboye story. So the General Overseer of the RCCG, the Redeemed Christian Church of God, Pastor Enoch Adeboye, on Sunday said he knew long ago that the Seun of Ogumoshan, Oba Gandhi Olaoye, was destined to be a king. He was saying that, he said, I knew Olaoye was born to be a king when he, Olaoye, came to me to inform me about the developments. I told him to go and pray. He came back and said, God did not speak. I told him to go and pray again, and then God spoke, and it was very clear. And I told him that even before you prayed, I already knew you're going to be a king. I knew long ago that God wanted, but I wanted God to speak to you directly. That to his own critics, if I said no, and God says yes, whose word is final? God, of course. So I cannot stop him because Pastor Olaoye was destined to be a king even before he was born. and thank God it's coming to fruition. So he gave him his blessings on Sunday.
Yeah, NDLEA is at it again. So, well, this one is a conviction. So they had arrested this drug baron in 2012. That's his name is Okenwa Nzewi, and his associates, Sonny Oke, and they had been charged to court. So the story was that they had this property, multi-million naira mansion, located in VGC, where they were carrying out production of methamphetamine. And, you know, they were able to arrest them. And they've finally been convicted and sentenced to 4 and 3 years imprisonment each, with an option of fine of 4 million and 3 million respectively, in addition to community service for 4 and 3 weeks each. A vehicle attached to this person has been forfeited, and as well as the mansion that the production was being carried out from. Well, sounds okay. 3-4 years, 2 weeks of community service. It's fine.
Feels like
anyway,
more.
there's a 75-year-old grandma that has been arrested as well, with all sorts of illicit drugs. In her own case, she said it's her son who's on the run that sends it to her, and then she retails it, and so many other things.
So she's actually dealing.
Okay.
Oh, gosh. Yes, I do have a story. The Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, airlines, and Dangote are in talks over diesel and jet A1 fuel. Between June and October this year, there's been a 50% increase in the cost of diesel, and currently it's selling for 1,000, and they're thinking it might get to 1,500. So the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria is saying that if diesel prices increase to 1,500, more manufacturers would have to shut down because they can't transfer costs the way airlines are currently transferring the cost of increase in jet A1, which is their own fuel. They are transferring the cost immediately to tickets. Tickets to Port Harcourt this weekend was almost 300,000 naira for just regular flights, not even business class or whatever, for local flights that is less than an hour. But the airlines transfer the jet A1 cost because the fuel constitutes so much of their bill, and they cannot absorb that cost by themselves. However, they are in talks with Dangote, that because Dangote has collected a million barrel of crude oil, they are expecting that by January, Dangote would start producing, and they are and they're negotiating. Dangote had already said that it was going to be selling at international price. So they are hoping to position themselves to be able to collect whatever Dangote brings in and probably negotiate a better deal than what they are getting from the imported fuel. I'm hoping for some level of patriotism, but I know that Dangote is running a business and he has taken a lot of loan to get the business this far. He's not going to be negotiating that would be detrimental to his own business.
They may be able to cut the exportation costs.
Good.
That can also save some money.
Shipping cost and
logistics and all.
Well, let's wait. I don't want us to preempt. Let's just wait and let him get us.
Let's do the results.
But Dangote had already told us that the jet A1 fuel will be out.
We'll be ready in January.
Okay. Daily Sun. Naira scarcity, bureau de change, SMEs, others grown as expert queries CBN. Ohaneze president alleges conspiracy against Igbo. Rivers, G27 leader rejects passage of budget. NLC dismisses notice of nationwide strike. Nigerians, others die as 61 migrants drown off Libya coast. Tinubu hails appointment of Professor Uchegbu as London varsity president. NPA busts fake electronic call-up syndicate at Lagos port. Convicted drug baron loses VGC mansion SUV as NDLEA arrests grandma for drugs in Lagos. And Adeboye, why I didn't stop Olaoye from contesting Oshun Ogbomoshun. Okay, which story?
Yeah, it says 61 people, including women and children from Nigeria, Gambia, and other African countries have drowned following a shipwreck off Libya. International Organization for Migration, IOM, was the one that made this statement yesterday. And they said the boat originally contained 86 people and left the Libyan shores from Zwara, they were passing the Mediterranean. And this, according to them, continues to be one of the most dangerous migration routes. So most of the victims of the incidents were from Nigeria, Gambia, other African countries. They said 25 people survived and were transferred to a Libyan detention center. And, they provided them with medical support. And the survivors are in good condition. But they are saying that this year alone, 2,250 people have died so far trying to cross the Mediterranean. And they're trying as much as possible to see how they can save lives, meaning they are not doing enough of that. So I think we too need to start talking to our people. We don't need to cross. We don't need to migrate illegally. You know, that's usually one of the reasons people want to go by sea, and then they get into a shipwreck and people are just losing their lives because of the desperation. And it's not just Nigeria, other African countries. Everybody's running from somewhere. You know.
Okay. Which other story?
Yes, MPA, the MPA officials and security agents said that they undertook a spot check of the MPS pre-gate and made mind-boggling discovery of 249 fake vehicle plate numbers and 149 units of minimum safety standard stickers at the Lagos port. So this story really is about a move tackling the activities of unpatriotic elements sabotaging the MPA electronic truck traffic management. That's the e-collop system. So they found over 249 fake, those things, like a whole syndicate of, you know, fake call-up system. They said the checks also led to a discovery of another 164 pieces of vehicle number plates and 133 of the MSS stickers that are not fixed on any truck in readiness to be deployed for proxy booking. The authorities are saying that those tickets and plate numbers were immediately confiscated. The terminal manager has been invited for questioning. And so this explains why, in spite of the e-collop system, we still have gridlock and all that's happening there. We said it. I mean, I don't know why it took till now to do those spot checks. So I'm sure it was common knowledge that this was happening.
Exactly.
Had to be happening.
We're saying it for
us to have an e-collop system, and still we had gridlock. But thank you for doing this.
You've done it.
Please keep it regular.
Okay, let's move on.
I was going to take I need to take a story. The SERAP is always, we need more SERAPs. SERAP is economic rights and accountability project, and what they've done is they are holding government accountable anyway. They have filed a case into the court concerning INEC. They asked INEC, the order is called the Order of Mandamus, to compel INEC to promptly and effectively prosecute suspected perpetrators of the electoral offences that they believed happened between the off-cycle elections. So usually during the general elections, immediately after the elections, there will be prosecutions of anybody that was found to commit any crime. But these off-cycle elections, they haven't been prosecution. These elections happened in Kogi, Imo, and Bayelsa. They said particularly for Kogi and Bayelsa, there were a lot of infractions, and INEC hasn't prosecuted anybody yet. They also mentioned another order of mandamus that they want to know the details of how INEC is spending money during these elections, that it is a way to strengthen our democracy if INEC is accountable to the people on how much they get, how they spend the money. And they also asked, a third thing they were asking for was that there was a lot of bribery, that there is a recurring case of electoral bribery and violence, and it makes a mockery of our Nigerian democracy that we seem to be improving. And it can only get better if we are prosecuting people immediately it happens. So SERAP has done what they are meant to do. We're waiting for INEC to respond in the courts.
Last people, we may not have time to take too much. Let's finish we've not taken at all. Bayelsa, Kogi, Imo, polls. SERAP wants INEC to prosecute electoral offenders. War against judiciary, enough is enough, it sounds. 61 migrants, mostly Nigerian, Gambians, die in Libyan shipwreck. And Aida Tiwa didn't freeze local government accounts, says Ondo government. So I think that is pretty much what we can take. Ondo state government has denied freezing the accounts of all the local governments and their local council development areas in the state, sacking of Governor Rotimi Akeredelu's chief of protocol, describing the reports as not only false, but very misleading. This was contained in a statement by the Commissioner of Information, Mrs. Bamidele Ademola Olateju. Then that's all we can take on Front Page Review today. It's going to break. When we come back, move on to our hot topic of today. Stay with us. We'll be right back.